The St. Louis Jewish Book Festival is a celebration of authors, books, and ideas. In addition to an annual festival, they also have a year-long speaker series. And joining us today is the director of the St. Louis Jewish Book Festival, Scott Berzon. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So it's that time of year. The fall's kind of quickly approaching, and I know this is one of the largest book festivals in the country. It's coming up. What are some of the highlights this year?
We are one of the largest in the country. We have an annual attendance of over 10,000 every year, and it's from a broad scope of the St. Louis area, which we love, but we encourage people who have never been to the book festival to come and try out an author and see what they think. Every year we really do try and do our programming so that it covers all the bases. So we have everything from cooking programs to fashion to sports to economics, a little bit of topics for
and celebrities. I know each year when I get the brochure, I'm like, which celebrity do they have here? And you've been successful over the years of bringing in some pretty big names.
We have some big name celebrities again this year. One of our first big names will be on October 15th. We're bringing in Zach Posen, who is, of course, the acclaimed fashion designer and host of the hit show Project Runway. Zach actually recently has gotten into cooking, and his book that he just launched is not on fashion, it's going to be on food. And so there's a lot of fun opportunities there, and I think in addition to talking food, of course, he'll bring in what he knows about the fashion world.
Well, let's start off. I want to actually, because the festival's not until November, but as we talked about it just in the intro, there's actually a series of events, and we have this book here on site, is coming up in, is it this month, August?
Yeah. So just next week. And basically the way that we split up the festival in November, which celebrates National Jewish Book Month. That's when we have our core festival, which is 2 weeks long. It runs from November 5th through the 19th. But then we do try and have author programs spread out throughout the year, which we call bookend events, just so that the festival is on people's radars for more than just the month of November. William Cohen has been to our festival before. He's an excellent speaker, and next Wednesday he's going to be speaking at our J. It's a free event at 7 p.m., in his new book, he's a very popular writer. He's written a book called Why Wall Street Matters, and he spent 17 years himself on Wall Street, so he knows that world, and he is quick to criticize that world. In particular, after the financial crisis, it infuriated him that there wasn't more done legally to prosecute people that had a hand in that. But what he wanted to do in this new book was to show people why very basic things are really controlled by Wall Street. It is the engine that drives our economy. If we have an iPhone, if we eat our breakfast, if we drive our truck to work, these are all things that are fueled by the capital going into and coming back out of Wall Street. And so we really do all depend on this. And it's not just an evil that we're quick to point at when our stocks go down.
And I think what's important too is, in addition to obviously highlighting the book, we talk about the formatting itself, because you give time afterwards, outside of the author speaking, to do a Q&A, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So we try and make this a really intimate experience with the audience members and the authors, especially, if you want to come and see somebody that's, one of your favorite authors. We don't want to keep that person just secluded from you. We try and make it intimate. So they give about a 40 to 45 minute talk on behalf of the book. And then we do 15 to 20 minutes of audience Q&A. And then immediately after, you can go up and meet the author, purchase a book, have the book signed, and chat a little bit more personally.
Do you ever find with the Q&A, I mean, that's where people really, sometimes they've read the book, read it twice even by the time, that an author's come. I mean, is that generally the more lively aspect of it, or?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, oftentimes, one of my favorite things is when someone has dug so deep into a book, they ask a question that the author just can't believe that they really found that little nugget in there and are asking about it. Or they've brought some personal connection to the author. I saw you 25 years ago. I brought along this picture that you and I took, when you spoke at the J in, 1982. So that's really fun too. And people like to share, personal stories and how a particular book affects their personal life. So,
well, we're going to get into the details of more of the authors that are going to be there, but I've got the information there for you on the screen. It's the St. Louis Jewish Book Festival. Again, one of the largest book festivals in the country, incredibly popular here in the region. Go check it out. And as Scott was mentioning, events actually start outside before November 5th through the 19th, which is the 2-week festival, but starting this as early as this month. So for more information, go to stljewishbookfestival.org. But stay with us at STL Live. We'll have more about the festival coming up right after this break.